Hey guys, and welcome to another guitar lesson with me, Rex Pearson from rexpearson.com. Hope you guys are doing alright. Now, this is a very special lesson indeed because we're going to be looking at Flight of the Bumblebee, one of the most impressive alternate picking songs out there. Now this is going to be released to all my subscribers, but it is actually the conclusion, the finale, the big bang of the alternate picking course. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're not sure what the course is about, I'm going to have a video for when the course is released right there in the top left. If you click that video, it will give you the details about what that course is all about. If you'd like to hear the song played full speed, in the bottom left hand corner, click on that video and there'll be a cover there for you where you can watch, basically watch me play the whole song. This is going to be the guitar lesson though. Now I'm going to break this down focusing on the key parts, using the techniques that you should have developed on my guitar alternate picking course. So let's take the first part, which is basically the intro, the descending pattern. I'm going to play it for you at normal sort of speed, maybe a medium tempo, and then we're going to break it down and we're going to talk about how to tackle such a complex and difficult piece, Flight of the Bumblebee. Let's go. Okay, now we're going to tackle this in two ways, using the techniques that we've covered in my alternate picking course, which you can get obviously from the website rexpearson.com. Now, it starts at the 12th fret, and you do need to make sure you use all 4 fingers for this. Don't skimp and try and do it on just 3 fingers. If you've never used your pinky, then you've never taken my course, so check it out. But if you haven't used it for a while, you might want to get used to using this little finger. Now, it's all chromatic, starting on the 12th. Then you drop it down and the 4th finger replaces where the 2nd finger was on the 10th fret, and you descend again. Now before we continue, as I've talked about on my course, this is very important. We're going to practice that as a cyclic exercise, whereby we take a very small snippet so that your brain doesn't have to think too much about the notes, but more on the technique. All alternate picking, we repeat the pattern. Now while that's happening, focus on minimal movement on the left and the right hands. You don't want the fingers flying around and you don't want lots of movement on the right hand side. Keep everything short, tight and very close to the fretboard. Once you've got that as a cyclic pattern, it's 4 notes per beat if you're going to play this with a metronome, so maybe try it at about 100 beats per minute. If you can get it at 100 beats per minute, you're ready to move on. You do the same thing again down, so the 4th finger replaces where the 2nd finger was. So you've hit the 5th fret on the E string there after that descending run. Then we're going to be moving to the B string. Chromatic run down. Then it's an open E string, so you move back up to hit that note. The reason we do that is to make sure that we've got enough time to move from this to the next position. Okay, so we're going to be starting on the 4th fret here, and remember this is going to be with an upstroke for the first note because we've descended, high string open with a downstroke, so now we're going up. Now if you're getting that pattern right, the downstroke there is going to be the last note, and you hit the last note twice. So you've got the full pattern. Okay, now my tips, because straight away I'm sure many of you are having a lot of problems with the descending run. It is not easy unless you are an advanced guitarist and you're used to playing quite fast, quite intricate runs, lots of position shifts going on, lots of movement with both the hands. So here are my tips for learning this song. Cyclic patterns. Make sure that for each new combination of 4 notes you cycle it. The first 4 we did. When you add the next one, then when you add the next one, you just keep building it. And then the final part. And make sure that you're practicing Number 2 tip here, make sure that when you're practicing this, the notes are clear and you're not pushing too fast. Remember that you've got to learn these notes. The hands have to be able to ingrain it in the muscle memory. If you take it too fast, you're just going to practice mistakes. So although I'm demonstrating at a far faster tempo than you should be playing. The only reason I'm doing it at this tempo is so that you don't have to sit there and watch me play it in slow motion. You can just watch how it's played and then play it at your own pace. Please don't rush it, because you will be rushing mistakes. Okay, so the descending run down. Obviously you've got to remember all the notes, cyclic patterns. The next thing about increasing speed on my alternate picking course is about burst exercises. If you don't know what I mean, just check out the alternate picking course that's available on the website. Final thing, the book that accompanies the entire course will have all the tab for this tune broken down for you, step by step, each section, with also comments, hints, tips as you go along. So it's going to be a really useful part of learning this song. The video is really just tackling the most difficult aspects and demonstrating the parts that need to be demonstrated. Other than that, it's the book that's really going to help you to nail this song, and also nail alternate picking technique full stop, because it contains all of the exercises, all of the parts of the course, all of my hints and tips. Every little bit, a secret bit of information that I could give is held within that book. Super proud of it, so if you want to get it, head over to rexpearson.com and it'll be there for you. Okay, let's move on to the main riff of Flight of the Bumblebee, which is what everyone recognises, and it's a lot of fun learning, great exercise for both the left and right hands. Let's get cracking. Okay guys, now for the main riff. It starts on the 2nd fret with the 2nd finger. Now I would recommend learning all these notes one at a time. So you do 3 notes of the pattern, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then finally 8 notes of the pattern. That's the first 3, 4. Now that one, the 6th note, is the most difficult one, because it involves a roll on the 3rd finger from the A string to the D string. Key thing about rolls is to make sure that the note cuts off as you roll over to the D string. And you can also palm mute with the right hand to keep things under control, stop them ringing together. And that's it. Those are the full notes. Then it repeats again, and we're on to pattern 2, which sounds like this. Okay, the next riff that I'm going to talk to you about in Flight of the Bumblebee, it's the same sort of riff in terms of the types of notes that are being played, but the way we're playing them is very different. Now it's centered on the B string now, and it's at bar 41 in the actual tab, which is in the book. And we descend down. Now the bit that's different here is the 4th finger hasn't been used in that first 4 notes, but it does get used when you change string. And the weakest tendon, as many guitarists know, is between the 3rd and the 4th finger. So getting accuracy with this part of the riff is very difficult, because you've got to end on the 3rd finger, move the 4th finger in a dominant position with a finger that's not very dominant to start the riff again. So we get something that sounds like this. And then it repeats again. So what I would do is I would play a short riff where that 4th finger's incorporated, and I've got an exercise. I can burst exercise, or I can cyclic pattern and move it chromatically up. And then back down if I wanted to. What you're doing is you're extending the exercise, making it a bit more interesting for yourself, and working on the 3rd and the 4th finger. Okay, the first thing when you tackle this riff, which is at bar 63 in the tab in the book, starts on the 5th fret, descends down. Now it's an upstroke as we change string. 4th finger's being used there, and then the 3rd. Then the pattern we had before, where the 4th finger comes down on the 6th. They're the last 3 notes. So we've got, and it repeats from that note. That's the first pattern. Now again, if you have a problem with the 3rd and 4th fingers, use the techniques that we've discussed so far. Then the 2nd pattern of this. Okay, so the final riff we're going to be covering in the video tutorial. Remember that there are plenty more tips in the book that accompanies the course. We're going to start at the 12th fret, and let me tell you a couple of little things about this riff because it's a little bit different. You've got a chromatic 4 notes starting on the 12th fret. Then you change string. So it's going to be a downstroke, but you start on the 11th fret. Now from here on in, almost all the way to the top, it's 5 notes per string. Now that might not sound like very much, but what that means is whenever you have an odd number on a string, the picking pattern is going to shift from starting with a downstroke on a new string to starting with an upstroke on a new string. So it's going to feel very different to normal alternate picking exercises. Down, up, and then that would be a down then. Played it as an up, but that would be a down. Now, to play that 5th note, you've got to slide with the 4th finger, which is a difficult technique. Practice it as a burst exercise, and then we build the next string, exactly the same. Now remember that the video is the first step to learning this song. I've just picked the key points that whenever I teach this, people find the most difficult. So you've already got an advantage in learning those parts of the song. The second support sort of mechanism for learning the song is the book that accompanies the course. Next thing, obviously, is the alternate picking course, which is available on rexpearson.com. The next thing, obviously, is online forums. If you're having trouble with this and you want to post a comment on the video, I always check every comment that anyone posts, and I'll reply if I can help you. So if you're struggling with a particular part, you're not sure what to do here or not sure what to do there, post a comment in the description below and I will answer it for you. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson, guys. I will see you on another song lesson. You can check out the channel every Sunday, new lessons come out, and hope to see you guys soon. Catch you later.